Right, hello and welcome to a very special video where I'm going to be looking to provide a community-wide update on all the latest developments going on in the world of Command & Conquer Generals 0 Hour. Before we do that, first and very important message I think that we need to get across is this. There are no balance changes. The game itself is not going to be getting changed here. The super hackers, in particular, are not actually going to be applying any form of balance changes, and nor are they going to be fixing any bugs that could potentially impact gameplay, of which a few examples we will come to. Now, it's quickly worth showing what the community currently has in place to install the game, to launch the game, and also to play single player, and also to play the game online. So hopefully we'll have a chart that comes up. Okay. So obviously the first step is to install the game, for example via Steam, via Origin or the EA app, or even via CD for those that are of the old school nature. In theory, 0 Hour can then be played at this point, although it is highly likely a variety of technical issues will then exist. So online play will also not actually be supported at that point in time. That's mainly because once you first install the game, that you'll be installing the original game client version 1. Whereas everyone pretty much plays version 1.04 these days. So to help fix the game, the easiest way to do this right now is to download and run a program called GenHub, which will automatically apply all the relevant fixes to your game installation regardless of how you install the game. You can then install Gentle via GenHub or directly from the Gentle website. Once these steps have been completed, you'll be on the retail version of the game, or the known current retail version of the game, version 1.04 as I said, and will also be ready to play games with others online. So to play online, users currently have 3 broad options. One of those is Revora or CNC Online, which replaced the GameSpy servers when they shut down in May 2014. You can play also via Game Ranger, which is a peer-to-peer network for players to play online matches that arose as an alternative solution following the GameSpy server shutdown. Or a more modern, or recent, well, not really recent, but last 5 years or so, there is also the option to play with Radmin. Radmin is essentially a VPN network where the majority of competitive games are played at present, since around 2020, as I said before. Okay. So the new world then. Following the source code release earlier in the year, the community now has the ability to vastly improve the game on a variety of levels, including, but certainly not limited, fixing the game. You know, such as your bugs and mismatches that regularly are very annoying for those that play the game. Making it easier to play online. Many more benefits beyond that. So if we hopefully can get a separate chart on screen. We have got, there we go. Let's just make sure. Yes, excellent. Okay. The game will continue to be installed as before, so there's not really anything changing there. So the installation of 0 Hour and Generals before it can be split into sort of 2 broad groups. So firstly, you've got the game installation part, which includes the game's assets and data. Things like the voices, the videos for the game units, all these sort of things. And then the other part is the game client, which is the part of the game written in code, or source code, which is what EA recently released. So what I'm trying to say there is, you've got the part of the game where it's actually written, but you've also got the part of the game that is still subject to trademark from EA. So, you know, like I said, the voices, all the multiplayer like units, certain like intelligent IP and so on and so forth. After the point where the game is installed, almost everything will actually then essentially change in the new world. Firstly and most importantly, the game itself is going to be fixed insofar as possible, which will help minimize mismatches and remove certain bugs. A classic example being the scud bug, in the same way that Gentle already does that. So for anyone familiar, they'll know that if they've got Gentle installed, that it has a few little fixes in, and one of those is removing the ability to scud bug. So the Game Fix project has been undertaken by a group called the Super Hackers, and now these are a group of experienced game developers who also worked on other projects, including Gentle and also the now defunct Time project. While the bulk of this project is being undertaken by the Super Hackers, other work is also taking place around this, such as Generals Online and GenHub, which we will come to. Now, it's important to state that this game fix patch, which we'll refer to here as 1.04, the Super Hackers, will be made such that compatibility with the existing 1.04 patch will be retained. So this means that players with the old and new 1.04 patch can still play against each other. So by nature, no balance changes can possibly be made, otherwise the game would immediately mismatch, and that would cause many a problem. So the majority of features of Gen Tool will also be integrated into the 1.04 Super Hackers patch, particularly or mainly those that are still relevant in the new era. Next, we also then have a new program that's going to be introduced called GenHub. Initially, this can be thought of as sort of a one-stop shop for the distribution of all required game fixes performed by the Super Hackers via community outposts. Generally, the GenHub project works independently of the Super Hackers project, but they will all come together in due course. So GenHub will have a wide range of features once all project phases are completed, but more on that later in the video. Lastly, we've also got Generals Online, which a lot of people may already be familiar with, thanks to promotion by some of the big YouTubers, Dommy for example. This is currently in its alpha stage and is directly feeding off the progress done to date by Super Hackers. It does not have any compatibility at present with the original 1.04 game, but it will once the respective work streams are complete. Now, the ultimate aim is for Generals Online to be the single place where all players play online. In other words, replacing Revora, Game Ranger, and Radmin. Now, it's important to note where Game Ranger and Radmin will continue to be working, Revora will be entirely replaced by Generals Online. Now, the chart, as shown on screen right now, implies that Generals Online feeds off GenHub, which is currently not true, but there is a plan to integrate this in due course. So the chart kind of really shows the end position as opposed to where we are at this present day. And just an important point to note there. So this video is only giving a brief overview, really, of all the key work streams currently taking place. But for some additional information on Generals Online, I'd recommend reading a very nice Game Replays article recently written by Martin Peters, a link for which is provided in the video description. Okay, project phases, progress today. In fact, let's actually just do another cycle of the music, shall we? Because that's always a bit better when there's something in the background. Okay, we can bring a next chart up. Okay, so yeah, project phases, progress today, and timelines. So the overall project can be split into 3 parts, as shown now on screen, which can be summarized as follows. So currently, everyone is working on Phase 1. Now, under this phase, the work ongoing is essentially happening in 3 separate strands. The primary strand of this work is GenHub. Now, that's led by Undead. This then sits above and links to the following. So you've got the Super Hackers patch, which is led by Zezon within the Community Outpost Discord channel. And then you also have Generals Online, led by X64 and his team within the Command Center Discord channel. Now, progress under Phase 1 is as follows. So, for the Super Hackers, they're roughly at 50% progress. Now, I should note that these figures are more from about a month ago, because it's taken ages for me to do this video. So that might even be slightly more now. The main work to complete here includes integrating Gen Tool features and also the documentation of work performed. GenHub is at about 60% progress. Again, that's probably a little bit more now. The main issue for them is resource availability. Now, Legionnaire recently put out a call not too long ago for C# coders to help speed up this work. So, in case you haven't seen that and you are, skilled in that regard, I thoroughly recommend making your voice known. Now, it's also worth noting that as part of GenHub, the work on the graphical user interface is yet to take place. That's kind of the bit where everyone essentially sees what the final product's going to be. So yeah, that's yet to take place, so it's difficult to see or visualize progress right now. Now, Generals Online is in the testing phase via the alpha release, which I think a lot of people will be aware of. Now, these get regular updates. More or less, these regular updates come as Super Hackers continue to make progress at their end. Now, the main challenge really for Generals Online is the integration with the other 2 work strands that we discussed. But that will, again, of course, just occur in due course. We're already seeing very good progress being put into effect through regular updates of Generals Online. So then we move on to Phase 2. That will then see the integration of Super Hackers and Generals Online into one single game version, which will be compatible with the existing 1.04 patch. GenHub will also be partially integrated to enable matchmaking. And then lastly, Phase 3 will see essentially the complete integration of GenHub, Generals Online, and Super Hackers into one unified group. Now, it's worth noting that although there'll be one unified group in terms of how the game works, there'll still be sort of strands of work going on in each somewhat independently. But the idea is that everything all comes together by the end of this. Timelines for these projects are currently to be fully confirmed, but Phase 1 is expected to be completed hopefully by the end of 2025. Might naturally extend into the early 2026, but that is the current estimated timeline. Moving on then, I just wanted to cover some potential features of GenHub. I think so far in the community, everyone's well aware of Generals Online, and everyone's also very well aware probably of Super Hackers and what they're doing, but probably less is known about GenHub, so just wanted to cover that briefly. So beyond simply acting as a distribution hub for fixing the game and administering patches, there are other very exciting features currently in development within GenHub. These are, for example, management of game profiles, the ability to access or install the game mods and add-on features, installing new map packs, installation of new patches arising from the community in future. For example, we might have the ability to have a special patch for FFAs, or maybe a special patch for Pro 1v1s. They could also easily be interchanged between, potentially. There's also the ability to pick and choose certain features as the rule sets. So, for example, if you wanted to implement Pro rules, you could just click a button and voila, Pro rules would be available to you. That is the sort of thing that could be achieved by GenHub in future. There's also the ability to connect to others via peer-to-peer LAN connections in the same way that Game Ranger currently allows, but integrated with the features listed above, or just that I've mentioned just now, I should say. Regular news feeds could also come through GenHub. We could also have live replay casts, which also include live chat of players. Can also have some mod builders, and crucially a one-stop shop for custom user interfaces, hotkey makers, so on and so forth. We'll also be looking to add enhanced match statistics as well. Okay, right, well, concluding remarks. Hopefully this video has been helpful in providing insight into the various work strands that are taking place. Obviously, a key thing to know is everyone working in the background is working incredibly hard to get this done, pretty much on a daily basis, actually. So a huge shout out to those that are doing that work. The patch contributors ask really only one thing, and that's that everyone is just as patient as possible. The more patient the community is, it will actually help speed up the work because there'll be less distractions. And of course, when you're working on a major project like this, the less distractions there are, the better. Most importantly, hopefully it also gets everyone very excited for all the amazing things to expect from Command & Conquer General 0 Hour in the very near future. So last point to make, if anyone has any questions, in the immediate aftermath of this video, I'd suggest asking myself. You can also ask those via the Community Outpost channel. You can also ask, frankly, anyone else that's a major community player. Old Analytics will be available as well to discuss anything to do with Generals Online, for example. Okay, well, that's about it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. And we will try and do another one when we have additional progress. Take care, everyone, and see you all very soon.